I'm going to start off by explaining a little bit about the environment that I'm going to be showing you, that I'm going to be setting up here. And my environment actually consists of two channel cell servers, CS Server 1, CS Server 2, and I have an InTouch server called CS InTouch, and then I have a separate database server called QA-SQL. So these are going to be the environments that I'm going to be showing you the setup process of load balancing. Now, CS server, all these servers are already pre-installed with channel cells. The only thing that I didn't do is set up load balancing yet. So I'm going to go through that process here with you. And the first thing that we actually do here, I'm going to jump into my environments. Again here. So I'm on my InTouch server right now, and the first thing that we're actually going to need to do is, since I already have InTouch installed, it's set up with InTouch, I have my channel cells applications activated, the first thing I need to actually do is start up the load balancing service. Now the load balancing service gets installed when you install InTouch, so all we need to do is actually start it. So if we jump into the programs here, it's a little slow, and then jump into services. In here you'll see a service called ByDesign Load Balancing. So if I jump into the properties here, I have it set to automatic. When you installed it, it would be set to disabled, so you just simply drop down and select automatic and then click the start button. So now our load balancing service is actually started. Now the thing that we have to do is we actually have to set up the database, and we do that through the setup wizard for InTouch. So we can go in here, ByDesign 6.0, ByDesign InTouch, setup wizard. And in here there's a section called Configure Load Balancing Database. So we're going to head and click on that, click on Next. Okay. Seems like the screen refresh is a little slow. So the first thing that we need to fill out in this form is the instance name. The instance name would be whatever the instance name of our channel cells application. In my case, I called it Acme Quote. So I'm going to go in here, type in Acme Quote. The SQL server where I want to put my database, so I'm going to put it on QA-SQL. My SA password, username, password. Then the database name. I'm just going to go ahead and prefix it with my instance name underscore BD metadata. So I'm going to click OK. And then it seems like I got an error during the. Let's try this again. SQL 5. There it goes. So I got my load balancing database set up. Now the next thing I need to do, we have another application in ByDesign 6.0, ByDesign InTouch, called the Load Balancing Manager. So we're going to go ahead and open this guy up. And in here, the first tab that you'll see is Register Servers. Now here's where we're actually going to say what is our channel cell servers. So I actually have two servers. So I'm going to go in here and type in the name of it, CS Server 1. I want to enable it in load balancing. Then I need the IP address. So I'm going to go in the command line here. I'm going to do an NS lookup on CS Server 1. So this is the IP address of my server, so I'm going to need to type that into the IP address section. 153, and we're going to be running it on port 80.
Hey Patrick, this is Bo. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is by design already set up on the other two servers?
Yes, I'm actually going to show you those as well. I actually pre-installed channel sales on there, and I activated them, but I do not have load balancing or anything set up on them yet.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
No problem. So I'm going to also add CS server 2. So I'm going to go over here and figure out my IP address. So it's 1.66. And I'm going to add that as well. So if we look down in the grid here, we'll notice that we also have an enable and disable. So if you wanted to go in here later on and actually disable a server, so if you wanted to bring it down for maintenance, you can actually disable it from here. You also notice server state is down. Now server state is actually down right now because I do not have any services registered for those servers, which I'll show you how to do here in a second. And here you can see the utilization of the server and the predictive utilization. This is the CPU utilization. So that's actually used in our algorithm used for what server does load balancing want you to route to based on the usage on that server. So if a server is being hit, it's actually going to redirect you to another server. So in the register services side, we actually have 3 services for our channel sales applications. We have the channel sales application, which you can see here, and the service is interactive. Then for configurator, we have 2 different services, interactive and background. Interactive would be the interactive configuration when they click the view detailed options, it would launch the configuration. That's the interactive configuration. Background configuration would be the implicit configurations, such as, they select an item from the cart and they click add. That would be that service. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make my CS server 1, my channel sales server interactive. So I'm going to simply type in the URL. So it's CS server 1 / Acme quote / dashboard / dashboard.aspx. And I'm going to enable it. Now this failover priority, what this will do is if I had even more servers, like 3 or 4 servers, I can set this to a failover priority of 2. So this server will not be used unless another server is down that has a failover priority of 1. Since I'm not going to be setting that up right now, I'm just going to set it to 1 and click add. So now I'm going to make my CS server 2 application. I'm going to make that my configurator server. So I'm going to simply go in here, edit the URL, point to Acme quote configurator / configuration config.aspx. So I got that all set up. Now if I jump over back to register servers, actually, no, sorry. Okay, so I got my load balancing database all set up. Now the only thing that I need to do is actually set up channel sales. So I'm going to jump over to one of my channel sales environments, which is CS server 1 here. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to edit one of the configuration files to enable load balancing. So,
or if you don't have a mute button, you can press *1. Thank you.
So I'm going to go into CSG. That's my channel sales application, my web folder, configuration. This is where all my configuration files are. And I'm going to open up this app settings.config file.